Howma, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another video lesson. Today we are going to be looking at how to express desire or how to communicate that you want something. Of course, there are multiple ways to do so. I will be providing a sample that you can begin to use. First off, there are two prefixes that are often used. The first is su and the second is ni. Historically speaking, these two prefixes, did I say prefixes before or suffixes? They're prefixes. Historically, they have unique meanings. First, su is associated with mental activity, and so that could indicate desire that is unexpressed. It's just more something mentally in your head. The second one, ni, is associated with speech, so that could indicate something that is actually verbally communicated. Of course, it's often the case that historical meanings of words or prefixes get lost eventually, and so these distinctions may not exist in your particular community, in your dialect. So as always, be sure to ask fluent speakers how they understand certain words and prefixes to give you a better understanding. You could also use full words here, such as this one, sukwai. Sukwai, that can also mean to need or to wish for, to desire. Another is tsunami. This is prototypically understood as meaning to think, but it can be used to express desire. Another one, likewise meaning think, is sukwama, which again can be used in particular context to mean desire. So let's get into the examples. This one comes from McDermott. It is ne sukiragaga and ne kire suhuawe. Means I want to go groundhog hunting. So these prefixes are always prefixed to the verb. So the first example is kiragaga. Of course, that whole verb form means all in itself to hunt groundhogs. So it's ne sukiragaga. I want to hunt groundhogs. The next one is ne kire suhuawe. So I, groundhog, want to hunt. Huawe, hunt. So suhuawe, I want to hunt. This one here is ne suruka panagaru unarukare. It means I want to eat, but there's no food. So duka is to eat. Prefix with su, suruka means want to eat. Usukadzi surama. He or she wants to buy a car. Tum is a verb to buy, and su, want to buy. Umekanovikwe tu sukimao means they want to come to the house. Kima is a verb come, and su, want. Here's another one. Ne susupirakwatu hauyarabino paumakwe. Excuse me. It says, I want to know if it will rain today. Supirakwatu is the verb know. Susupirakwatu, want to know. Ne karui hanorui surukakwe tukakwe. I will eat anywhere you want to eat. This one actually comes from Burns. All the other ones were from McDermott. This one comes from Burns. It says ne usunaka. Ne usunaka. I want to hear it. All right, let's get into ni. So before that, let me just say again how I had mentioned those were all from McDermott and then one from Burns. So what I had noticed in all the examples that I can find in different resources is that the majority of the ones that had su all came from up north, McDermott, Burns, that, kind of those dialects up there. Whereas the ones with ni, all the ones I can find were more Pyramid Lake area. Although there are some with ni from McDermott and Burns, which we will see shortly. So just keep that in mind again. As always, you want to find out how do they say these things in your communities. In this first example, ne kame huba niruka. I want to eat rabbit soup. So again, if you recall in the previous examples, there were some that had suruka. Suruka, ne, suruka, I want to eat. But here it's niruka. So again, historically speaking, that may indicate a difference between wanting versus like in your head, like, man, thinking I want to eat. Whereas this one is like you're actually communicating, I want to eat. Again, ask your fluent speakers in your community how they understand those distinctions. Ne no ni mi. I want to go with you. Another example, this one is from Pyramid Lake. No ni mi. I want to go with you. Sunana nibat sayagati. This one comes from McDermott. It means the man wants to kill you. Maybe even a strong desire to kill you because of that final suffix yagati, which we're not going to get into now. Sutaibo ni supira kwatu. The man wants to know. This one came, or the white man, this one came from Burns. And another one from McDermott says, they want to hunt the deer. All right, going on to the full words now. Sukwai. Again, this one can also mean to need, desire, wishing. It says, ne habi wihi sukwai. I want a pocket knife. This one came from McDermott. This next one, I believe, is from Walker River. It says, ne ba sukwai. Ne ba sukwai. I want water. Kai u sukwai. I don't want it. This one is from Fort Hall. It says, Bihagaku sukwai. I want something sweet. Ne ubija sukwai. I want it badly. Ne ubija sukwai. And tsunami. This one prototypically meaning to think, but in some contexts can mean to desire. It says, Duvitsonina. Ne duvitsonina. Gai nabo tsunami. I'm old and I don't want my picture taken. This one came from Walker River dialect. It's Nerai Togatuka Tsunami. I don't want to eat at night. And another one says Rai Nemi Tuka Sukwama. We don't want to eat. So this is the one with Sukwama. Sukwama. And finally, one last example, and with a bit more advanced learning, because I'm going to kind of break this one down a bit more syntactically, grammatically. It says, Ne sumuba isu kwaina mayukwe. I might find something that I want. So, first, ne means I, right? Sumuba, might. So, I might. Of course, as always, the verb comes at the end. So, mayukwe, find. I might find. Let's break that verb down a bit more. Mayu is the verb root. Mayu means find, means find. This u suffix is what is known as a punctual morpheme, punctual suffix. It oftentimes indicates a point in time. It's a punctual suffix or a momentous point in time, something happening. Ku, this final suffix, indicates something that will possibly occur in the future. Not certainly, but possibly. So I might find. So this whole phrase here in the middle, isu kwaina, from that previous example that we had, sukwai, here it's sukwaina, means something that I want. So this whole phrase functions as the object of the verb. I might find something that I want. So in this case, the E there that you see, E, means I. In this type of subordinate clause, or perhaps a relative clause, in this particular type, the I of it, something I want, it changes to E. And this na at the end of the verb, sukwai na, that also indicates that it is a subordinate clause or a relative clause. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details now as to why those things change in those particular ways, e and na, but just know that in this particular case, that is what these indicate. It indicates something that I want. I might find something that I want. So, hope that made sense. If not, you can always feel free to ask me questions in the comments or wherever. I will be glad to respond. So, Manusapa. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that made sense. As always, please reach out to fluent speakers in your community or others that you may know who know the language, for help in learning. And as always, maybe find some of these examples and just use them as much as you can so that you can begin learning and putting them into use and practice. So until next time, hope you have a good day. Punirwa. See you later.